What's up, Internet? I'm Jonny Ultra, and I'm at Shindig.Studio. Keep it juicy.
Do you want to be Jonny Ultra or Jonny Myrick?
Jonny Ultra.
Yeah,
also, it's my Rick, not Myrick.
Myrick?
I own a Rick. That Rick belongs to me, motherfucker.
Thank you.
I've never actually met a Rick, so I haven't been able to go up to him and be like, I own you. It's like, what? And it's like, yeah, my Rick.
Yeah.
Jonny, my Rick.
You're the self-proclaimed only drummer in Tacoma.
Yeah. Well, and ironically, I got the nickname Jonny Ultra from Shane. Yeah. So we had a Hellas practice after Ears' birthday before COVID. And the fridge was just full of fucking beers, all kinds of beers. They just kept giving me the Michelob Ultra because the fridge was on the opposite side of the room as me.
Sure.
And so they just, Shane just made the joke of oh, hey, you're drinking all the Michelob Ultra. You're Jonny Ultra.
I didn't even put that together. And my assumption is you're a Rainier man.
I am a Rainier man.
Yeah,
absolutely. But and I've been a Rainier man, and so yeah, I was like, fuck, I have to drink Michelob. And the irony of that is Michelob still fits with being a Rainier man, because you go to Shindig.Studio, where the Tacoma Rainiers play, you can't get Rainier there, because Michelob owns the stadium.
Holy smokes.
So you get Michelob Ultra. You cannot get a Rainier at a Rainiers game. It's some fucking bullshit. Because literally, I went there for my 10-year high school reunion, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to drink Rainier at Shindig.Studio watching a Rainiers game.
Yeah.
Nope.
Can't be done.
I was drinking Michelob Ultra because they don't have Rainier. Because Michelob owns the stadium. It's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Put that in. It's fucked up. I'm calling you out, Shindig.Studio. Fuck you.
So that title, the only drummer in Tacoma.
Yeah.
Is that like a challenge? That's kind of how I took it. Be another drummer in Tacoma.
Well, yeah. So it just sort of stemmed from the fact that at one point I was in 5 active bands.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much all Tacoma based. Sure. So, because what was Ultrafest? Dadbod, or I don't know. It was Dadbod, Fishy, Ghostblood, Hellas, Toxic. Those 5 bands. I was in 5 active bands at one time. And that's sort of where the joke came from, is because I was just in so many active bands at one time, and they were all Tacoma-based bands. Sure. So all of my friends in the local metal scene started calling me the only drummer in Tacoma, even though that's obviously not accurate, but still, it was funny. And that's sort of why I ended up doing Ultrafest, is to just sort of play into that bit. And I also just, wanted to play in all of my bands at one night because I thought that'd be fun.
Sure. That's a lot of different ground. I don't think of any of those bands being in the same genre, really. Do you approach them differently, or is it you get what you get?
Yeah, so with Fishy Mushroom, it's definitely I write the lyrics and I write my own drum parts for it. For Ghostblood, Adam, our bassist vocalist, sort of writes all of the parts and then throws it at us when he's got a song ready. And then I tweak it a little bit and just say yo, I think this drum part would be better here or here. With Hellas, I sort of took the existing drums from previous iterations of the lineup and made them my own, but still sort of kept to that same sort of feel for the most part. With Toxic Rain, there was a whole lot of existing material before I joined. Dave Preto was genuinely such a monster on that kit, and I tried to do his parts justice. And I remember when I joined, I hit him up on Facebook, and we started talking. He was like, dude, you're a killer drummer. All I would ask is I couldn't do more blast beats, So just do more blast beats for me.
What a cool
so,
note.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
if you
literally,
could.
I was just like, dude, I will do more blast beats for you. But he was such a more technical drummer than I was. So I definitely like had to dumb down his drum parts. But in return, I added more blast beats for him.
Yeah, and it's nice that he gave you the space to make them your own after the...
Exactly, yeah, because Toxic Rain had been on a hiatus when I joined for a few years because Lance, our bassist vocalist, had twins and sort of put Toxic on a hiatus to be a dad. And then I joined and, you know, we were talking about it and I just said, fuck it. And I added Dave Preto and then talked to him and he was like, dude, do what you're going to do with the parts. Just like add more blast beats. Yeah. And so I was like, done.
Yeah, no problem
Easy.
at all. My understanding is you initially got this kit for Toxic Rain because of the like aesthetic of it. Is that true? Like that green fit in with a thrash band?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Toxic Rain is easily my favorite band that I have been in because that style of thrash fits me so well that I definitely wanted my kit to sort of match that because I was like, I'm going to ride Toxic Rain until we're done with it. I don't care if it always stays a local band because I know how much people love Toxic Rain, and when we did that final show especially, people were so bummed about us calling it a day. And I'm still bummed to this day because I miss playing those songs, but I knew in my heart that these songs and this style of thrash is so imbued within who I am as a drummer that I want this kit to represent Toxic Rain. So yeah, I absolutely picked the green and black because Toxic Rain is green and black, you know?
Yeah. It's exactly what I think of when I think like that niche of thrash. It's like, what other colors could you choose?
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that you're keeping it around as like a legacy to what that was. Because the other bands don't have that same thrash aesthetic, in my mind anyways.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. But also part of that is just I can't afford a new kit. And I'm not getting rid of this one. So at the end of the day, like this is just the kit. Because when I joined Hellslot, I was like, yo, the green on black doesn't really fit our aesthetic. Like I don't have the money for a new kit. And they were like, we don't care what color your drum kit is. And I was like, okay, cool, then I'm keeping the green and black.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Because it still is indicative of who I am as a drummer because you see the green and black and you think that like that crossover old school thrash metal and that in my heart is who I am as a drummer. You know, I'm that Dave Lombardo ripoff. I listen to so much Exodus and Overkill and, you know, Municipal Waste, and there's such an association with green and thrash. Yeah. That like that's why my shoes are the color that they are too is because I'm like, just call me thrash trash, like I don't care.
Yeah,
you know, it's who I am. I'm not gonna apologize for that. I fucking love thrash metal and I wish more people did too.
Yeah, it's a Mapex Armory kit. Did you pick it for any sonic properties, or was it the first all-green kit that you could afford?
Yeah.
Where?
So I was on Sweetwater, and I was like, I've got this Sweetwater credit card, and I'm making a decent amount of money right now. You know, I'm 22, 23 years old. I deserve to buy myself like a decent brand new drum kit. Because I was using this old school Pearl export that I bought off of a guy on Craigslist for like $300 that had like spray paint on the side of the shells and everything. And I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, I deserve to have like a real kit that's mine that I bought with my money that, you know, is brand spanking new. So yeah, I just started perusing Sweetwater. And I saw the colors and, you know, I looked up all the different sounds. And I mean, this kit, for its quality and the price point, is genuinely, at least, you know, 6-7 years ago when I bought the kit, was unbeatable. I think I bought it. So it came with a snare drum. I use a different snare drum than what came with it. But it came with a snare, you know, the 2 rack toms, the floor tom, the kick. Came with all that for I think $8.99.
Yeah.
And I was like, that price is incredible. I can get it on 36-month financing or whatever. So it was only like, cost me like $20-$30 a month, something like that. So I was like, fuck it, I can afford that super easy. And it was the kit that I liked visually the most. And I was really only in Toxic Rain at the time. So it was the only band that I was really thinking about. And yeah, I've just sort of kept it, you know. These rack toms about a year or so ago got stolen, and so these aren't the original ones. I literally went on eBay and rebought matching rack toms because I love this fucking kit so much.
That says a lot that you had an opportunity to kind of branch out into something different and didn't. You're like, nope, I'm going right back to where I started.
Yeah, no, like genuinely, I've just gotten, you know, I don't know if it's just because of how used to how the kit sounds and how attuned to it I am, or if it's nostalgia. But either way, I just absolutely adore this kit. So if I was to get a second kit that's a different color to match the aesthetic of one of my other bands, it'd probably be another Mapex Armory.
Yeah, and it'd be nice to like swap hardware and such. Like if you have problems with one, you could keep another kit going.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's just, it just feels right. It feels like me. And the kit feels and sounds exactly how I want it to. So why switch it up? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I think that generally the vibe of this kit matches your playing style really well. I think a big part of that is the Evans hydraulic heads. Did you find those in the beginning, or did you experiment to get there? Or maybe it came with them. I don't know.
No, so yeah, it definitely didn't come with them. But I was just looking up different heads online, and because, you know, I sort of knew the sound that I was going for, and I was just using like Evans EC2s or whatever, you know, the generic, cheap, affordable drumhead brand is from Evans. And I saw the hydraulics, and it was like, you know, 2-ply with a layer of oil between the plies, and I was like, you know, that sounds really interesting. I'll grab those, I'll throw them on my card, you know, because I can get financing on that, exactly. And so I gave it a try, and I just realized how easy it was to like dial in those overtones and get that old school thrash, you know, the more like dead sound for the toms but still projected that I want. So yeah, I just sort of rolled with Evans hydraulics from there. I experimented with like Evans UV2s for a little while because they have a lot more dynamicism to them. And I just realized, I'm like, no, I gotta just go back to the hydraulics, man, because these UV2s are great. They sound phenomenal, but they're so much harder to dial in. Because like you said, you know, when we were setting the kit up, you know, the rack toms especially were like perfect. And like, I know for a fact, like when I threw these heads on, I used my drum dial initially to like lock them in a little bit, but definitely after that, they've, you know, shifted and everything from, you know, playing a show and then leaving them in my car for 3 or 4 days and, you know, the summer or the winter or whatever. And then, you know, I'll hit it and I'll hear like, ooh, that's got a weird little morb to it. So I'll mess with it, but I don't have my drum dial on me, so I'll just mess with it, and then bam, it's locked back in. So like, I think that's another reason why I'm so attached to this kit, is because it's like I just have such a understanding of it that I just can lock in, like hit it, oh hey, this is the lug that's sort of out of sync, and then boom, okay, that just sounds better, cool, we'll just roll with that.
Yeah, in a lot of times, especially for more aggressive drums, we have to do a lot of overtone control. We either have to really find the tuning that the drum wants to resonate at or mute it. Yours, it was like, okay, it sounds great, we'll get the drum dial on it and come back tomorrow. It was so easy, which like, I would attribute to those heads as well. Is there anything else that you've done to stray from like the stock setup, if you will, to tailor it to your sound, or was it just like a home run from the get?
So I definitely changed the snare drum because it came with a Mapex Dillinger snare. And then, don't tell Mapex, but they had this trade-in program where you could send them the snare that you got with the kit and get a different snare in return. So I initiated that and said, hey, I've got a Mapex Dillinger. I want a Mapex Tomahawk, because the Tomahawk is a steel snare. And I definitely knew that for Toxic, I wanted that bite of that steel snare. So I initiated that, and then I never got an RMA. I never got shipping information to send in my Dillinger.
Yeah.
3 days later, a Tomahawk snare showed up in the mail for me.
Sure.
So I like...
Double snare.
Exactly. So I still have the Dillinger that came with the kit, and I have the Tomahawk still, because I'm like, just off principle, I'm not going to sell either of them because I got one for free. So like, if anything, I'm going to give it away to somebody if, you know, I don't want it anymore or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, you know, the Tomahawk sounds great, but like there's still just a little bit that's missing to it. And then I saw this band Nyat. Hellas opened for this band Nyat night in at Tiananmen's, and they were such a killer band. I had met their drummer on Facebook, and we talked. I helped him set up a Tacoma tour date and was like, yo, if you want, my band can open for you guys. And we did. And as soon as I heard his snare drum, I was like, what the fuck snare drum are you using? He said, oh, it's the Tama SLP. And I just cranked the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
So a week later, I went on Sweetwater, threw a Tama SLP on my card, and then just, you know, cranked the fuck out of it. So it's like, that's why my snare sounds how it sounds, is I just love the cranked ass steel snare. And I mean, it's a beefy boy. Yeah, it's a 14 by 8.
When you came in, I saw it and I expected...
Or a 14 by 6 or something, but it's a fucking beefy boy.
Yeah, I expected this low, like, cannon of a snare, but you have it cranked so tight.
Yeah.
And they'll hear it from your playthrough.
Oh, yeah. And
it
can hit that, like, low, cavernous sound, but that's not what I want out of it.
You're using all of that for volume.
Exactly, because it's such, like, a durable fucking steel snare, I can just crank it, and I'm like... As long as the head's not ripping because of the tension, I'm good, you know?
Yeah.
So it hasn't happened yet. I think I've been using this head for like 3 years. So we're all good so far.
It's impressive that it's held up that well and it's still in good shape.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't leery at all about you getting into it.
Yeah, because one thing that I've learned about like the drums is when you get used to them and when you tune them, how you want them to sound. You can sort of not hit them as hard because you don't have to compensate for that volume as long as you're getting that projection out of the kit that you want. Because there are these drummers that hit like crazy hard, and I get it. You know, like that's how you play, that's how you feel. But like, I'd rather let the kit do the work for me and not beat the crap out of it and have to like replace my heads all the time.
Yeah.
Because like, I've had these heads on here for 1.5 years since like since the old ones got jacked, and there's not a dent on them. You know, there's scuff marks just from the sticks hitting them, but there's no like dents or divots in them.
No, not at all.
So you know, it's like that. That's just, I like to think that, you know, I make them sound good with that sort of like mid volume that I hit them at, and then the kit just does the work for me, you know?
I've come to learn as I record more drummers that, and I think this is the spirit of what you're getting at, is one approach is to hit the drums as hard as you can and it pitches it up when you hit harder. It changes the tone of the drum. Or you can just crank it and then hit it reasonably.
Exactly.
Did you know that in the beginning, or was it just like a happy accident?
I definitely like experimented with the kit and sort of found that out. I've never really been a super hard hitter to begin with, because when I started playing drums, I got like, you know, a super cheap like sound percussion kit when I was in high school. And I joined my high school's vocal jazz group as the drummer. So like, I learned to prioritize dynamics really early. So I learned to only really hit super hard when it's necessary and when you really need to crank out those dynamics.
Yeah.
So when...